Have you heard of the Palestinian anti-normalization movement?
What? Sorry?
The Palestinian anti-normalization. Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay, it's basically Palestinians saying they will not deal with Israelis in business, in culture, in any way, speaking to them until Israel ends the occupation.
Oh.
So what do you think of it?
I don't know what to answer actually, because
do you think
it's their business. I mean, I can't tell him what to do.
Okay.
Them what to do.
Do you think they'll get? Do you think they will get? I don't know what they want, but do you think they'll get what they want by just never speaking to Israelis?
No.
Why?
Never. Everything in life we need to speak, and it's never gonna end if they're not speaking.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Do you know anything about the Palestinian anti-normalization movement?
Yeah.
Okay, it basically means that they're not going to deal with Israelis until Israelis end the occupation.
And the question is?
What do you think of that?
We don't want to deal with them.
Okay, why? Sorry, I can't see you.
Until they will stop the anti-normalization of themselves, then we will go and talk to them.
Well, what does that mean?
Well, you have to listen to the news.
No. You explain to me.
They have to stop bombing our buses and our cities, and then when they will get normal, then we will be able and want to talk to them.
Okay.
That's my opinion, but I'm sure that some Israelis, maybe 40% of the Israelis, that doesn't agree with us.
Okay. But they're saying that they're not even going to talk to Israelis until Israel leaves the West Bank.
We left Gaza, it didn't help.
What? Say it again?
We left Gaza, it didn't help, so there's no difference if we occupy the territories or not.
Okay.
It's the same.
I agree to everything he said, except of the term West Bank.
Okay.
We call it something else. It's not the West Bank of the Jordan, but we call it the Eastern Territory of Israel.
Okay. But could Palestinians get what they want in another way?
I think that in ways of peace, if they would want to live with us peacefully and quietly, we wouldn't resist. Okay? Thanks.
Have you heard of the Palestinian anti-normalization movement?
We never heard about this movement.
Okay, the idea is that normalization means dealing with Israelis in any way, culturally, business, negotiations, until Israel ends the occupation on its own. What do you think of that?
To speak with the Israelis?
Yeah, even
Palestinians will speak with Israelis?
Yeah, they won't speak with Israelis. They won't speak with Israelis until the occupation ends, and then they'll speak to Israelis.
It's more than 1 minute answer, so you know we are pro-peace and we are against the occupation, but we are pro-negotiating.
Okay.
And so we'd like to speak with people who want to speak with us, but I understand their frustrations.
Okay. Yeah, because they would say they've been negotiating for 20 years, and from their perspective, they have less and less now.
They're right.
Okay, so how would they get what they want? That's what they're...
They have to sit and talk some hours, some days and months, but they have to sit and talk. No terms
in advance. They learned in the hard way that if they are behaving with violence, so they have achievements. This is what we have to solve. So I think we, as the bigger country and the richer country, and the country with the possibilities and with the bigger army, with bigger
more power.
More power, yeah. We have to listen to them.
Have you heard of the anti-normalization movement, Palestinian anti-normalization?
No.
Okay, it basically says that Palestinians shouldn't deal with Israelis on any level, cultural, business, anything, until Israel solves the problem of the occupation. What do you think of that?
I think it's not very clever.
Okay, why?
Because the economical situation in Gaza or in different places in Palestine is not good. And they're a little bit dependent on work that Israel provides. So I think it's not very clever to do it.
Okay. So what would you advise them to do instead?
They need to do something else?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Well, other than the options are not speaking to Israelis, speaking to Israelis, using terrorism, not using terrorism, I don't know.
Well, I guess, of course, not using terrorism, of course, and without, talking, nothing can happen. So we are neighbors, we can't, ignore completely each other. We just need to sort problems and to, achieve normalization. Political, security, and all kinds of fun.
Okay. What about, they would claim that they've been dealing with Israelis in negotiations for 20 years, and nothing has happened, and if anything, they keep losing more and more land.
They keep losing more and more land?
Yeah.
So what's the question actually?
So what, if that is their response, what is your response to that?
Because they are talking with us for 20 years and nothing happened, they need to stop talking with us?
That's what they're saying, yes.
Well, it's not correct. Because of things like this, Netanyahu wants to do, in Hebrew we say dafka,
on purpose, yeah.
On purpose, yeah. Well, every sanction, it's, it's going to cause the other side to do the same harm. So with power, it's only going to bring power. With violence, it's going to bring violence. I think.
Have you heard of the Palestinian anti-normalization movement? The idea of not speaking to Israelis in any way, on any level, business, cultural, negotiations, until Israel ends the occupation?
Well, kind of, yeah.
Okay. And what do you think? Do you think that will give Palestinians what they want?
I don't think there is one Palestinian. There's all sorts of different Palestinians who want different things.
Okay.
And isms don't usually work. Isms lead to schisms.
Okay.
But I don't believe that there is a political answer. I think the answer will have to be found in other ways.
Such as?
I would try to mix the kids together, let Palestinian kids and Israeli kids hang out together from a young age, realize that they're all humans. But I guess that's impractical. I don't know. There's no political answer to this.
Okay.
It's game over.
Have you heard of the Palestinian anti-normalization movement?
Not really.
Okay. They believe that Palestinians shouldn't speak to Israelis on any level, culturally, business, anything, until Israel leaves the West Bank. What do you think of that?
I think it's a waste of time not to speak with them now.
Okay, why?
Just because we need to speak with them.
Okay. Do you think that by them not speaking to us, they can get anything positive?
No.
Do you know anything about the anti-normalization movement?
No.
Okay, so it's Palestinians who believe that they shouldn't deal with Israelis on any level, cultural or even business level, until Israel ends the occupation. What do you think of that?
That it's nothing that can be achieved.
Why?
Because occupation is too, how do you say? It's just something you say. It's like a bigger word for what it actually is. I mean.
Okay, explain what it actually is. From your.
I don't think you can call it occupation. I mean, it's a long story. I can't in 1 minute explain it to you. But...
Okay, so let me ask it in a different way. If Palestinians they think to end the occupation means so they get freedom. How would they do that?
They recognize that he's in Israel. They will sit down and talk, and we'll move from there. I mean, you can choose terror or just not speaking to the other side if you want to achieve something. You can't do anything.
Do you think Palestinians can get what they want through talking?
Yeah, I do. I mean, look at the situation in Gaza and compared to Judea and Shomron. You can't even compare the economic status, how people live there, poverty against people who actually, work and earn money for themselves and have a normal life. I mean, or almost normal life. Terror won't get you anything. That's what I think.
Okay. Well, anti-normalization says we're just going to not deal with Israel until they solve our problems. That's kind of what it is. It's not terror. It's
nothing will happen. I mean,
so it'll remain the same situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sadly, but true.
Have you heard of the Palestinian anti-normalization movement?
No.
Okay. Anti-normalization means they will not speak to Israelis on any level, education, cultural, negotiations, until Israel ends the occupation.
Okay.
So what do you think of that?
I think, firstly, I had never heard this movement. But the question is, what is occupation? I mean, what is occupation to them? Do you mean like everything? Then...
Okay, it depends. I guess it depends who you're speaking to. But let's say it means that Israel leaves to the 67 borders completely and has no control of the borders on Jordanian side, for example, or in Gaza. Meaning we don't keep soldiers on the Jordanian West Bank border.
What was the question again?
So the question is, do you think that by ignoring Israelis completely, not speaking to Israelis at all until they get that, let's say that's what they want, and plus the right of return, I guess they would say also, that the Palestinians come back to Israel, do you think that's going to work? Do you think that's going to give them anything?
I don't think that they would be content with that.
But do you think it's going to give them anything?
Give them by how?
For some of their demands. They do want the soldiers, Israeli soldiers, out of the West Bank, the Palestinian refugees to come back to Haifa and Jaffa. Do you think...
It will never happen. It will never happen because of the terms today. I mean, it's not that like let's say, my grandparents were living in Silwan before 29. Which called the Shiloach village. And after the
1929,
when they I don't know,
the Arab revolt.
Yeah, the Arab revolt. They escaped. They escaped back to the Jewish side of Jerusalem. I don't expect them to give me back my grandparents' house. I mean, it's not logical now that they're living there now, at least 70, 80,000 Palestinians, or I don't know, that it's unlogical to claim those claims, I think.